Hi, I'm Chris. There comes a moment on every journey when the map grows quiet and something deeper begins to speak.
Welcome back to Conscious Pathways. I'm Dennis. In this series, we've been walking with Dorothy and her companions through a landscape that feels both magical and strangely familiar. A place where certainty fades, where old rules no longer quite fit, and where the path forward is not always clear. And today, in episode 4, we arrive at a subtle turning point, because somewhere along the yellow brick road, Dorothy begins to sense something new. Not another signpost, and not another instruction, but a quiet inner knowing.
It's the beginning of learning how to listen differently, not just to the world around her, but to the wisdom stirring within her. Up to now, Dorothy has relied mostly on what she can see. Follow the road, ask for directions, trust the figures in authority. First, Glinda, then the Munchkins, soon the wizard himself. Like so many of us, she has learned that answers live out there in systems, in experts, in promises of certainty.
For a while, that works. It gives structure, reassurance, and it gives a sense of safety. But the journey has already begun to loosen that belief. Because the road has twisted, the companions have struggled, and the world has proven far less predictable than expected. And now, something begins to change. Dorothy still walks forward, but she is no longer walking blindly. She begins to notice her own instincts, her own timing, her own quiet responses to what unfolds around her. When to speak, when to wait, when to comfort, and when to lead.
She starts sensing that guidance is not always something she receives. It is something she participates in, a conversation between circumstance and conscience, between what is happening and who she is becoming.
No one announces this moment. There is no ceremony. It simply arrives, as it often does in our own lives, quietly, between decisions, between breaths, and between doubts.
Many of us were taught early on that safety comes from obedience, from doing things the right way, from following the path others laid out, from earning approval, from avoiding mistakes. And for a time that serves us, it keeps us protected, it keeps us belonging, it keeps us moving.
But awakening brings a gentle disruption. We begin to feel that the old instructions no longer fit, that borrowed certainty feels thin, that borrowed courage feels fragile. Something inside us is stirring, asking to be trusted.
Inner guidance doesn't shout. It doesn't issue commands. It doesn't guarantee outcomes. It speaks in subtle languages, a sense of alignment, a quiet resistance, a deep breath that says yes, a heaviness that says not this.
It often arrives as discomfort first, as restlessness, as a feeling that says there is more honesty available here. It is less about control and more about relationship, a relationship with your own becoming.
Dorothy doesn't suddenly become fearless. She still doubts, still worries, still wonders if she's doing things right. But she begins to listen inwardly, to check in with her heart, with her companions, with her values, She begins to trust not just the road beneath her feet, but the wisdom rising within her steps.
And in doing so, she becomes a different kind of traveler, not just a follower, but a conscious participant. Perhaps you are in a similar place, where old maps feel incomplete, where advice feels well-intended but insufficient, where you're sensing, I have to learn how to listen differently now. This isn't confusion, this is initiation. It is the beginning of inner authority.
It's the moment when life begins asking you, can you trust yourself, even when there are no guarantees? We invite you to try something simple this week. Pause, place a hand on your heart, take one slow breath, and ask, what feels true for me right now? Don't analyze the answer. Don't judge it. Just notice.
Inner guidance grows stronger when it is honored, even in small ways. Dorothy's journey is far from over. She will still face uncertainty, still meet illusions, and still confront fear. But something essential has been planted. A quiet trust, a growing compass, and a deeper relationship with herself. A reminder that home is not only a destination,
it is also a relationship with your own soul, a willingness to listen, a willingness to walk gently, a willingness to grow. In our next episode, we will explore what happens when the inner voice is tested.
And when courage is asked to rise, until then, walk gently, listen deeply, and trust what is awakening within you.